Mario Della Savia, Mario Della hyphen capital SA, V as in Victor, IA, and I work for the Hockey Hall of Fame, the Outreach Department.
So tell us about what you do with these trophies that we're looking at.
So what we do is the team invites us to come to various cities to showcase trophies. Today we were showing off the Jennings trophy as well as the Vezina for Connor Hellebuyck's day tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Everybody's thrilled to see it. We were just at the practice facility yesterday for some of the younger fans, and they were thrilled to take photos with it.
What's it like when you see younger kids who probably want to be on that ice one day taking pictures of this trophy?
Are you kidding? It's always great to see the young boy or girl that wants to be a goalie. We also know that they're very unique individuals, that goaltenders are, but they took pictures in front of them with their sticks, and it was great.
How long have you been doing this for with the Hall of Fame?
I've been working for the Hockey Hall of Fame for over 14 years. I travel with the trophies as well as artifacts and the Stanley Cup during the summertime.
So when you're on the road with the trophies, it must be pretty cool, like especially when you're on the road with the Stanley Cup, to see the players experience those kind of moments with their families after working so hard to get that trophy.
It's incredible. I cannot say enough about the family and the friends and the grandparents and the aunts and uncles when we bring the trophies, not just the presentational trophies, but also the Stanley Cup. And when we do, everybody's so thrilled and so excited for the individual.
How'd you get into doing this?
Well, I volunteered at the Hockey Hall of Fame Resource Department. There's 18,000 square feet of hockey history, just where the Leafs and the Marlies practice in Toronto. So I started volunteering, then I slowly started traveling with the trophies, and then with the Stanley Cup when the Hawks won it in 2010. And hopefully we're going to be back here one day celebrating with Winnipeg.
I was going to say, when the Hawks won in 2010, you were probably here with the Cup. There's a couple of Winnipeggers there.
Yeah, absolutely was. And especially in Vegas, when the Vegas Golden Knights won, we had over 25 Canadians, and we spent a lot of time in Western Canada.
Do you have a favorite year that you got to travel around with some of these trophies?
I'm going to say probably Washington, because we did a lot of travel. We were in Siberia, and we were in Russia, and Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Canada, always Canada. So it was fun, it was enjoyable, and of course seeing Ovechkin win the Stanley Cup, it was a big thrill.
So, for people who don't know, what does the logistics look like behind traveling with these trophies?
Well, you know what? We make sure that we can bring the trophies onto a plane. We are usually maximum 2. Thank you for all the airlines that help us out during this process. But if it's more than 3 or 4, we either get them shipped here or we will drive, depending how far the destination is.
And so for fans at this game tonight, what's going to be going down with these trophies here?
Well, tonight they'll be able to come through the concourse, and we'll showcase the trophies. They can come up close and tight and in person with it and take some photos.
So people who believe in like trophy curses, do you recommend that they touch a trophy or not touch a trophy?
I always recommend them just look and take photos with them. They're more than happy to do that. If they do want to touch them, of course, there's no problem with that.
So for you personally, like, you must have been a hockey fan, I'd imagine, growing up. What's it like to be part of this part of hockey history?
Well, you know, it's funny. I am a hockey fan. I love hockey. I love hockey history, and being part of this has always been a thrill.
And is there anything else you'd like to add, or you want people to know about these trophies?
You know what? Just to come up to the concourse. We're here for the evening. Come and enjoy yourself and have a lot of fun, and go Winnipeg.
One thing I was wondering as well, do the players get to have a day with these trophies, or how does that work?
If they'd like, we can bring it to their place, whatever they'd like, but they get a replica version of the trophies when they win them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, first question will be super easy. Can I just get you to say and spell your first and last name and tell us what you do with the Hockey Hall of Fame?
It's Izak, I-Z-A-K, Westgate, W-E-S-T-G-A-T-E, and I'm the manager, outreach exhibits, and assistant curator of the Hockey Hall of Fame.
So what do you do with these trophies? We're here with the Vezina trophy. What do you do with the Vezina and the Jennings trophy that we're looking at?
So basically there's about 10 to 12 of us on staff at the Hall of Fame whose job is to travel with the trophies. We have exhibits that go on the road, interactive games, etc. So each year when players win the awards in the spring, we reach out to all the teams to see if they want to use them at the start of the season to celebrate with their fans. So myself and a colleague have come on this trip, brought the Vezina and Jennings to make sure that the fans get a chance to interact with them and take photos as well as the player.
How long have you been doing this for?
I've been with the Hall of Fame for about 28 years now, since I was a kid right out of school, and if you love the game, there's nothing better to do.
So you've been at the Hall of Fame for 28 years. How long have you been traveling with the trophies for?
Probably about 28 years as well. Yeah, I started as an intern, and literally right away, I think our first trip, we had a couple trophies on the road, so I was thrown right into the fire, and like I said, we get paid to watch hockey, so there's really nothing better than that.
Do you have a favorite memory with any of the trophies that you've been?
Oh, wow, that's a tough one. Nothing stands out in particular. It's more the events that we go to, whether it's an international event like the World Junior Championships or overseas or an NHL Stanley Cup final. And on top of that, it's the people that we get to meet along the way. A lot of my best friends I've made over the years working with the Hall of Fame.
And it must be pretty cool for you to see like the players who work so hard to win these awards get to celebrate with their families on some of these trips.
That's exactly the case. They don't get a lot of time with them when they win them in Vegas and get presented. So when we bring them on these trips, it actually gives them a chance to look at the trophy, look at all the names that won it before them, and often it's their idols that they had growing up. And honestly, they're like a kid in a candy store, no different than a fan who's coming to take a picture with the trophy. And it's amazing to see an NHL player's reaction to winning these.
I was going to say, like, sometimes the players, they kind of downplay, like, the individual accolades, and they say, well, you know, you want to win the Stanley Cup, most importantly. But I was going to say, like, what's it like for players when they win these trophies and you get to interact with them?
So it's exactly like I said. The names that won it before them is what makes it so impressive and important. I think players, they do tend to downplay things. I think it's more reflecting after their career when they really appreciate their individual accomplishments. But I'm sure behind the scenes, it means a lot to them to win it too, because if they're winning awards, then their team is probably having success as well.
And so for Connor Hellebuyck, who won the Vezina, what have you heard from him about how he feels, winning this trophy?
Well, he's coming up, so I'm not sure yet. We haven't seen. My colleague was with him in Vegas when he won, so he saw him as he was taking the photos. But we're shortly, I believe, him and his family are going to come and have a look and take some photos. So I'm sure there'll be the same reaction that most of the other players have had.
So, and is there anything else you'd like to add before we let you go about these trophies or how people can see them here at the game today?
So, well, I think the Vezina in particular, it's one of the oldest NHL trophies. It was created in the 1920s for George Vezina, who's a Hall of Fame honored member. So it's very prestigious. It's almost 100 years old now. We'll have them set up on the concourse, and fans will be able to come up, just like the player, put their arm around it, touch it, get a photo with it. So when you're at the Hall of Fame, they're behind glass. So this is definitely a unique opportunity for the fans.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I was going to ask you, how many pairs of white gloves do you go through in a year?
Too many. How about that?
Yeah, there we go. That's a good answer. Thank you very much for your time. Problem. It was a pleasure to meet you.